For the first time since 1982, the WWE is not being run by Vince McMahon. Forced into retirement due to financial and alleged sexual misconduct, McMahon has finally stepped down and made way for his successors. Nick Khan and Stephanie McMahon have been named co-CEOs of the company, and Triple H has been named the head of creative and of talent relations. To say that this news has rocked the pro wrestling world would be an understatement. Online reactions, as usual, have been all over the map, ranging from untethered excitement with the hope that Triple H will usher in a golden era of WWE programming and positive workplace culture, to outright catastrophizing on the AEW fan side. But most people have landed somewhere in the middle, as unchecked positivity and panic are rarely productive responses to significant news. And let's be straightforward, this is a significant shift in the pro wrestling landscape, and it will have an impact on North America's two biggest promotions. My goal in this video is to analyze how it could impact talent, television, and fandom. Will this be a case of a rising tide lifting all boats, or will a Vince-less WWE sink their competitors? And are these really the only two options? I'm Rivenblade, and today we're talking about what WWE's regime change could mean for the company, for AEW, and for the pro wrestling landscape at large. First up, talent. Under Vince McMahon, the WWE was often criticized for creatively stifling conditions. However, wrestlers still went to work for Vince's company because the WWE would pay them the most money and give them the biggest platform. Then, in 2019, AEW came along and suddenly provided another option for wrestlers who wanted to get paid well and be creatively fulfilled. After leaving the WWE, Jon Moxley famously said, "I want to prove that the WWE's creative process sucks. It does not work. If I had a goal with AEW, it's that we could prove that Vince's way sucks." There is a laundry list of names who have left or been released by WWE who have stated similar frustrations about how they were or were not used by the company. But Vince isn't in charge of WWE's creative process anymore. Triple H is. What does that mean? By most accounts, Triple H is a more talent-friendly boss with a looser approach to promos and wrestling styles, having headed up NXT Black and Gold for years and having been a wrestler himself. With Triple H in charge, the WWE could become a more creatively fulfilling place for talent. Who knows, maybe performers will have more input into their on-screen personas. Maybe they'll even get to keep their names and characters when they move up to the main roster from NXT. Wouldn't that be something? In the past, these and other baffling creative habits pushed performers to breaking point, so the workplace potentially becoming more amenable to performers' ideas and intrinsic talents is a good thing. Because regardless of how you might feel about John Laurinaitis,
pervert,
Kevin Dunn,
pervert,
or Vince McMahon,
I am no pervert.
Everyone should want better working conditions for talent regardless of the company. The more places wrestlers have to go where they feel valued and where they feel free to perform and grow in a way that feels natural for them, the better it is for everybody. But wait! Do improved working conditions mean that Sasha and Naomi will come back? How about those who were part of Triple H's NXT but who are now in AEW or who are free agents? We're talking the likes of Adam Cole, Athena, Kyle O'Reilly, Johnny Gargano, Keith Lee, Malachi Black, Nixon Newell, and more. The answer to this question isn't a simple yes or no. It really depends on the person and on what happens next. In regard to AEW, some of H's exes are already committed to long-term contracts, so unless wrestlers ask for their release because of dissatisfaction with their treatment in AEW, they're probably going to stay for several years regardless of their past relationship with Triple H. What about non-Triple H wrestlers? What about those who have ties to Cody, namely big stars like MJF, Jade, and Ricky Starks? Could they make the jump to WWE once their contracts are up? Well, the odds that they at least entertain a conversation with the WWE is a lot higher if they hear that the work environment has improved. To be clear, if someone really wants to go to WWE and there is mutual interest, they will go to WWE. The reasons people choose to work for one company or another are incredibly personal. Everyone's situation and ambition are different, and everyone has different lines in the sand. For instance, it's clear that Britt Baker wants to be both a wrestler and a dentist. Would WWE allow wrestlers to work other jobs? Jon Moxley loves to bleed. He loves to work for other promotions. Would the WWE allow their talent to work a match in GCW, New Japan, or a local indie? Adam Cole loves his Twitch channel. Would WWE allow him to keep it and not want a cut of his revenue? There are numerous factors to consider on a case-by-case basis, but talent movement is virtually guaranteed because at the end of the day, the pro wrestling landscape isn't static. Talent was always going to move back and forth between companies. The best part of the WWE potentially becoming a healthier work environment for wrestlers is that this will probably incite bidding wars over certain talents who will reap the financial benefits and who might now have two big-time places that allow them to do what they love. And that's a great thing for North American pro wrestling as a whole. Finally, this all hinges on the degree of changes that Triple H brings. Yes, he's the head of creative, but how much power will he actually have to change the structure that Jon Moxley talked about? How loose will promos be? How much bureaucracy will there be in the story writing process? Will blood be allowed again? How big of a budget will Triple H be given to bring in new talent? And how much space will there be for that talent on TV? And NXT 2.0 still exists, right? Ideally, that is WWE's feeder system, and some of those talents will eventually find their way onto live television, which reduces the space for performers to come in from the outside. What I'm getting at here, and what I think you probably get by now, is that AEW wrestlers aren't suddenly going to flood WWE because of a Vince-less workplace. However, the WWE potentially becoming a healthier workplace is the best thing possible for wrestlers across the board who will have more options when it comes to not only financial security, but creative fulfillment. Next, let's talk about the television product itself. This includes production and booking decisions. For many, myself included, the WWE's candy-colored production and nausea-inducing camera work are major barriers to re-entry. The man behind this Willy Wonka-fied production is Kevin Dunn, who was hired full-time by Vince McMahon in 1984. There is speculation that Dunn might be the next person to leave the WWE, but as of this recording, he's still at the helm, so no matter how competent the booking might become under Triple H, the quick zooms and Nickelodeon color palette will remain a turnoff for some. When it comes to booking and how talent is utilized on screen, there is a hope that Triple H will bring both logic and excitement without the need to rely on endless rematches, jokes about testicles, and vomit takes. If we never see another vomit take, it'll be too soon. Again, while most fans probably enjoy a bit of schadenfreude when it comes to bad pro wrestling programming, we should all want good pro wrestling television. The reason being that it pushes everyone to be better, the talent and the creative. Look at the episode of AEW Dynamite that dropped after the Triple H news hit. The show was fresh, exhilarating, and action-packed to the point of feeling like a statement, as if Tony Khan really took it personally when the online discourse became about the WWE rating AEW's best talent and fans potentially returning in droves to watch WWE. Triple H being in charge and potentially refreshing WWE's booking philosophy, maybe by providing fresh matchups or putting wrestlers on TV that Triple H sees more value in than Vince did, is going to push Tony Khan to be better. And the same should happen in the other direction as well, especially if Hunter wants to attract anyone over from AEW to the WWE. Because if the on-screen product remains the same, and if wrestlers who are clearly talented keep being overlooked for the WWE's chosen ones, then the on-screen product will just continue to stagnate. Ultimately, it's up to Triple H and Tony Khan to put on the best wrestling shows they can, and while just having someone new in the chair for WWE for the first time in 40 years is pretty exciting, Triple H still needs to deliver because planning out 5 hours of main roster television is no doubt a much bigger task than planning out 2 hours of NXT each week. Finally, what does this change mean for fans? Some have speculated that Stephanie as co-CEO and Triple H as head of creative could open the door for more collaboration between companies, which would be incredible for pro wrestling fans, but I'm skeptical of this because of the WWE still being a much larger company than everyone out there, meaning they might not see the value of doing a talent exchange, running a super show, or sending their talent overseas to New Japan, for instance. In terms of TV viewership, it's way too early to make any conclusions, but there is clearly some rubbernecking interest in the WWE's products at the moment. The true test is to see whether these are just temporary curiosity boosts, or if they can be maintained in the weeks and months ahead. To be upfront, I stopped watching the WWE years ago because nothing felt important, the shows lacked vitality, and the production annoyed me. Everything just felt hyper-corporate, forced, and sterile. Never mind that I felt embarrassed to watch at times given Vince's sense of humor. That said, Triple H heading up creative isn't going to get me to tune in anytime soon, but the departures of Vince and John Laurinaitis have gotten me closer to considering taking a look at the WWE again for the first time in years. So I guess that's something? The thing is, everyone has different reasons for watching and not watching, and I'm sure the things holding people back from watching again are different for every ex-WWE viewer. I'm just one person, and while the show and the company still aren't for me and probably won't be for many years, they might again be for others. Well, that's it. It's a brave new world out there as we're all standing on the frontier of one of the most significant periods in pro wrestling history. So, enjoy it. Don't take the banter too seriously, and just watch what you like and don't be a jerk about it. This stuff is meant to be fun, and I hope that whichever company you enjoy more keeps cranking out the stuff that you like and provides good working conditions for its wrestlers. Because for this industry to survive and thrive, we need safe and creatively fulfilling work environments for all. But what do you think? Is the WWE about to experience a creative renaissance? Or are we expecting too much from a Vince-less future? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to subscribe to my channel. My conservative goal is to hit 500 subs before September, and I'd love your support in making that happen. Until next time, thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate it.